Okay. Let us see one more problem on ANOVA Two Way. Why I am using ANOVA Two Way also? Let me give an idea. See, I'm being given a consignment and observers. Of course, four experimenters determine the moisture content of samples of a powder, each man taking a sample from each of the six consignments. That's the question. I can just write here. Four experiments determine the nature, determine the moisture content, not nature, determine the moisture content of samples of a powder, of samples of a powder. Each man taking a sample, each man taking a sample from each of six consignments, from each of six consignments. Okay, the assessments are as follows. The assessments are as follows. Okay. These are the observers 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the consignments. He has asked clearly carry out ANOVA. Okay. So discuss whether there is a significant difference between the consignment or observers. When difference between two things are being asked, I'll go with two-way ANOVA. If about multiple things are asked, I'll go with multiple way ANOVA. Okay. So how will I proceed first? Whenever I'm testing some hypothesis, I'll be going with the H0 and H1 or HA, alternate hypothesis. Now here two things are there. So H0 of A and H0 of B, both of them I have to set the null hypothesis for both the consignment and the observers. What that is I will take that all the means are same. Consignments are 6 in number. And then observers are 4 in number. So mu1, mu2, mu3, mu4. I'm taking the first A to be observers and B to be consignments. Then HOA will be something like this. HOB would be mu1 is equal to mu2. I will say just dot is equal to mu6. That's how I'll consider null hypothesis. Now, alternate hypothesis is optional, but anyways, I'll write. Alternate hypothesis H1A would be at least two of them will differ, is what I will take. At least two of them would differ. I can say here, instead of two of them, two of the observers would differ, is what I will write. H1B would be what? At least two of consignments would differ. Consignments would differ. That's how I'll take this. Now, what are all the things that I'll do here? I'll just give an overview. Please see here. I'll be taking all the column sums. I'll take the column sums here. Of course, I'll take the row sums as well here. Okay, then what will I do? I will take the squares also in the next row or in the next column. I'll be taking the squares also, like how I have done here. I'll just show the previous problem which I have done, and I'll take all the square sums also. I'll square all the column values and take it. It would be called these would be called T dot J whole square. Okay, these are all called T dot J whole square. Okay, the first column, second column, and all. Next here, what I'll do, I'll be taking I dot squares. The rows, squares, and sums I will take. And then next, what I will do, what I'll be calculating, just see here. Once I have done all those cases, first I will find RSS, the raw sum of squares. That is the sum of squares of all the elements in the table. Now, also not the sum of the squares, just sum of the values in the table, that would be G. Correction factor would be G squared by N. N would be the number of total number of values in the table. Rows into columns gives me the total number of values in the table. Here 6 rows are there, 4 columns are there. So the total number of values would be 24 in number. Okay. Now then total SS, sum of squares would be raw sum of SS minus CF. Raw sum of squares is nothing but squares of all the elements. Sum of squares of all the elements. Now I'll be calculating SSA. SSA is nothing but my TI squared minus CF by H. TI squared by H minus CF. SSB is TJ squared by K minus CF. SE would be sum of squares of errors would be TSS, total sum of squares minus SSA minus SSB. And finally, I'll be calculating MSA by MSA and MSB. MSA is SSA by H minus K. MSB is SSB by K minus 1. H minus 1 and K minus 1. MSE would be SSE by H minus K in H minus 1 into K minus 1. Okay. Now, finally, the F ratio, MSA by MSE, MSB by MSE is what I will calculate. I'll just write here those values. I'm not doing this problem. I'm just giving an overview so that we don't forget. FA would be MSA by H minus K. FB would be MSB by K minus 1. H minus 1. No, I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. MSE, MS, okay. FA and FB I will calculate. For this problem, I have the values. FA, I have it to be 5.03. FB, I have it to be 2.23. Now, let's see the tabular value. F tab is nothing but I'm choosing it at F 0.5 because nothing is being given. I'm writing here, let alpha is equal to 0.05. Okay. So, what are the degrees of freedom that I'm considering? I have chosen it to be the observers. B, I have chosen it to be the consignments. Okay. So, three comma 5. This value is 3.29. Okay, that's what I have. Okay, F at 3 comma 5 degrees of freedom. 3.29. If I see FA is greater than F tab, so what I will do? I will reject HOA. Okay. FB is less than F tab. Okay, so accept HOB. That's how I will conclude. What I should say that there is a significant difference, difference for FA or the observers. There is no significant difference for the consignments. Okay, that's how I will do a problem on ANOVA. Okay, thank you.